Rick Fry, fluoride-free, Northwest Florida. Many of you have talked to my buddy Justin Harvey in Orlando, and when I was texting him months ago about starting to fight up here, I told him this was going to be a battle because Florida politics, especially in Pensacola, are just a cesspool of incompetence and corruption. It's been that way for decades, as everybody knows. He was like, no, it'll work out. I was like, no, they're going to have to be forced to do the right thing, which is, of course, what happened, is you were forced by better, more powerful politicians to stop poisoning people with this hexafluorosilicic acid. And, it was funny because even yesterday in the paper, you admit that you spend $340,000 a year to poison people with this crap. And then you say that, well, it's too expensive to get rid of it. So we're just going to keep putting it in the water. But we were ordering less because we knew we were probably going to lose. But your cheapest way to do it is just to keep putting the poison in the water, even though you already lost. Because, God forbid you have to dispose of the toxic waste, because it is toxic waste, which is why it costs you so much money to get rid of it. And what was it? Ms. Campbell was saying, oh yeah, I just feel bad for the poor and the elderly. Well, the poor and the elderly, they're on fixed incomes. They can't buy fluoride filters. And when the news journal puts forced medications in quotation marks, the very vote that you cling to, 40% of the population didn't want fluoride in their water. And you still put it in there. That is forced medication. You don't care about poor people bathing and showering in toxic waste, but you're worried about teeth? You've never been able to explain how drinking toxic waste helps your teeth, how showering it helps your teeth. You seem to be at the same level of intelligence as you were after months. But when I contacted Niceville, their mayor wrote me back the next day. And the day after that, Larry and I drove to Niceville and they voted it out. But you had to wait for people to do it because you didn't want to lose votes. You didn't want to take a stand. You are why people hate politicians, because none of you could just make the most simple decision to stop poisoning people. So I bring my daughter here just to see that some people have to stand up against this kind of bureaucracy, because it's ridiculous that you took this long to do anything, and the only reason you're doing it is because they forced you to do it. It's shameful.